have one question going back to the discussion action item that we spent so much time on tonight. I would really like to see a motion. In fact, I'd make a motion to really take it off the table at this time and address the crime problems and economic development and see if we can create in some way a resource and revenue stream that this community can get behind to fund the needs that we absolutely have. I would make that as a motion to take it off the table.
I'd like to second that motion. In a motion, I'd like to second that motion.
Okay. Eric, how does that work?
Well, Mayor, the item had been closed. There was no recommendation by staff for action. We're not recommending action at this time because we still have meet and confer obligations with the Hemet Firefighters Association that we need to engage in. That being said, the council member has made a motion and there's been a second for it. Simply because we didn't recommend an action doesn't mean that a council member can't ask for it. So we have to dispose of the motion.
Okay.
Can I just ask another question on that, and this would be of legal. I understand that the meet and confer process does have to go on with Hemet Fire because they have indeed made overtures to maintain their 5% pay reduction. From meet and confer still has to continue, correct? Or not? I mean, it's part of the solution.
If the motion were to pass, we would have to go and get supplemental direction from you as to whether or not to continue to meet and confer over the decision to contract out. I know that that sounds silly to the audience, but we only take direction on negotiating positions in closed session.
Right.
So if your motion were to pass, I would be asking you to add another item, which would essentially be to reopen our discussions from earlier, and we would go back into closed session and discuss what we would do. We are going to have to negotiate with Hemet Fire with regard to their MOU.
Yes.
Whether we contract out fire or not, that still remains. There's still that negotiation. One of the things we would discuss is whether we start that process earlier in the event your motion were to pass.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I might say something
Sure.
as well. God, where do you begin? You know, it's time that we put this issue to rest and do city business. Address the crime that we are facing in the city. Realize that we need to put a financial plan together to pay for this, no matter who we end up going with or when and if we ever do. The point, go out and outsource. We've heard from the business community, we've heard from the schools, we've heard from the community at large, and we have got to use our staff for what we need to get back, how we need to get back to business, economic development, clean up the city, and move forward. We've stood still too long, and that's why I hope that we can put this to rest for the time being.
Okay, so we have a motion made by Councilperson Krupa to stop item number 19, a second by Council Member Wright. All those in favor to stop item number 19, please signify by aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Nay. Okay. That motion fails 3-2.